Heart disease has been the leading cause of death worldwide for the last 15 years. In our country alone, heart disease kills more than 600,000 people each and every year. That's according to the CDC, and at least one life is lost per minute. To help raise awareness regarding the dangers of health disease, February has been named American Heart Month, and here to talk with us today about this is local medical malpractice attorney Paul DeMore. Welcome.
Thank you for having me back,
I'm happy to have you here. We're putting on your medical hat with this because I know that this is something that's near and dear to your heart. No pun intended, but it works today.
Yeah, well, you know, February's American Heart Month, and so in honor of raising awareness, I wanted to be here to try to talk to your viewers about, you know, things they can do to be more aware of their heart health, because it is the #1 killer in America to this day.
It is.
And it's a serious topic, and I think the more people know, the more they can look out for themselves, right? The most dangerous form of heart disease is called atherosclerotic disease, or coronary artery disease is another way people have heard it. And I brought my little heart with me today to show you that basically the heart has arteries that feed the muscle, and inside these arteries plaques can build up. And that just has to do with diet, lifestyle, and genetics. There's not a lot we can do about it sometimes. We can help our diet, we can help our lifestyle, but we can't help our genetics.
Right.
So we got to know when these arteries start to clog. Now, believe it or not, anyone who's over 40 starts to get plaque in their coronary arteries. And when those start to clog, this muscle doesn't get oxygen. And when this muscle stops, guess what happens? Your heart stops,
you have a heart attack.
And things get bad. One of the big tragedies is that the calls that we get as malpractice lawyers are people who go to the emergency room and say they're having the signs and symptoms that they've read about. You know, pain in the arm, pain in the jaw, upset stomach, dizziness, tightness in the chest is the classic. And they get diagnosed with something other than coronary artery disease or a heart attack, and they get sent home. We get a call later from a loved one that says, I lost my loved one, who went to the emergency room and had a heart attack after they got home. Or from the person themselves who says, now I'm a cardiac cripple because I had a heart attack, but I was in the hospital the day before.
But that's one of those situations where you really have to trust your heart, trust your gut, and go back. You were saying sometimes you'll get people who were turned away from one hospital and sort of dismissed and said, oh, you're okay, you're fine, you're too young for this. And then they go to another hospital and they say, you know what, actually, no, that's not the case. We need to keep
Those are my favorite stories. I can't help those people because it's a no harm, no foul. They're mad.
They're mad.
But what inspired me to come here to talk about this and to put
they're alive to be mad.
Right. And to put something on the website is they knew enough. They had enough information to know that what they were being told by the medical team was not necessarily correct. So they got an immediate second opinion that saved their lives. And so the more you know, the better off you are.
Absolutely.
And so we have an entire blog on the website in honor of Heart Health Month. If you go to needjustice.com and you look under the blog section, it's a lot to cover here. But you'll see the signs, the symptoms, the classic signs and
I know we do have some full screens as well that will talk about some of the symptoms, because I think a lot of these symptoms, sometimes you might have them and think that there's something else. So indigestion, I mean, people get that, you know, or throat or jaw pain, they get that. Easily fatigued, I had a long day. I think a lot of times we can sort of explain away these symptoms and not think that it could be heart disease.
But if you're over 40, and you're overweight, and you've had issues with your blood pressure, or you've had issues with diabetes, you've got to start being suspicious of your own heart health.
And another thing that people should know is that it is preventable. So even if you have, you know, heart disease, you can reverse that with proper diet and exercise.
Well, the research is showing that it's very difficult to reverse plaque in the arteries, but it is possible to prevent further buildup. So you can do what's reduce cardiac risk.
Absolutely.
And we've got a list here of all the basic stuff we talk about all the time whenever we do one of these health programs. Stay active, lower your blood pressure, monitor and understand your cholesterol. There are actually lipid studies. Cholesterol is a lipid. There are lipid studies that can be done by your doctor. You can ask for them. Ask for specialized lipid studies, because science is now finding out that there are certain lipids in your blood that are more dangerous than others.
Absolutely.
And people have a genetic predisposition to that. So the more you know about yourself, the more you can say, you might be able to say to a doctor, I'm not the normal person. I'm outside of the category. Are you sure I'm not having a heart attack?
Right.
Are you sure I'm not in trouble right now?
And then trusting your gut, again, going somewhere else. Now, I'm plant-based, so I'm going to add in my 2 cents. That's always a good way, too, to limit flax. So,
Yes.
you know,
You're
sort
right
of
about that.
taking out some of the meat products, the dairy products, and getting more plants in your system.
Healthy
so,
diet.
Yeah, so go to needjustice.com. You can find these tips and more on the blog there. Of course, they can reach out to you if they need justice. There you go.
There
It's
you
a
go.
good website. Thank you so much for being here. Really
Thank you for
appreciate it.
having me.
We'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.